Welcome back to the You Get to Decide podcast. I am your host and life coach, Allison Gallagher. I am an identity coach. That's what I am. I have created a method that helps meet you where you are in the identity you are now and helps you move into the identity that you actually want to be, that you know you can be, that you're striving to be. Whether it's the business owner, make more money, happy in your marriage, loving parent, someone who's moving up in your career, someone who feels safe feeling love or making more money, whatever the quote unquote identity is that you want to live in, be in, live from, you're struggling to get there. I'm going to break it down why. Okay, and I've created a method that moves you safely, and I say safely because if your nervous system doesn't think it's safe to be that identity, it will derail you. It will hijack you. And I talked about the method last week, the return of you method, 5 pathways. Today I'm going to talk about the very beginning, before you even become aware. This is going to be an awareness podcast, and I'm going to simplify it in a way that makes total sense to you and removes blame from why you are where you are. Because when you blame yourself, you're going to solve for the wrong thing. I keep saying that. You're solving for something outside of you. More discipline, more knowledge, more motivation, a different environment. No. That's not the problem. The problem is internal. The problem is your nervous system and your brain. And these are very solvable. This is a good thing. You can control this. You can control how your nervous system reacts, and you can control the thoughts that you listen to in your own mind. This is like the most powerful thing in the world, to understand you have full control over these things once you're aware of what's happening, and then you have full control over where your life is going. I mean, these are good things, okay? And we're going to start today with the 2 Ds, the 2 Ds that will derail you if you're not aware. And this is how the brain and body is wired. It is its factory settings. And when we don't know that this is happening, we're living from the factory settings, which is survival mode. Okay, most people on the planet don't know that this is happening. It is now my mission to share this with the world in the simplest way in my 5 pathways, to help you reconnect back to yourself, to not live from factory settings, and to lead from within in full awareness as a unified you, and you'll become unstoppable, and you'll live a beautiful life of more than you could ever imagine. That's what's going to happen. The 2 Ds are dysregulation and disconnection. These 2 things, when we're unaware that it's happening on the surface or underneath in our body, it will derail you, it will hijack you every time. This is why every day, I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to have the wine. I'm not going to have the wine. I'm not going to flip out on my kid. I'm going to pick up the phone and make the sale. I'm going to post online today. And then we don't. It is because your nervous system is hijacking you. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe not eating. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe not drinking the wine. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe being seen online. Or raising our hand and being vulnerable, telling someone we love them. I have people and clients that people in their life, they won't say I love you. It is too vulnerable, and their nervous system is saying it's not safe. Now, what happens? The nervous system is a culmination of everything that's happened to you in your life. Your beliefs, your experiences, and then stories were formed around them and stored in your nervous system. Your nervous system is like the archive of your life. Subconscious, you don't know it's there. Okay, your beliefs are like the files. And then your brain is the reader of those files. Okay, very, very simplistic here. Okay, and this is real shit. This is what's happening below the surface. And so you are living an identity that feels safe to the nervous system, because the nervous system just wants you to survive. Okay, so if you're trying to not eat and you have a belief deep down in your subconscious that feeling our feelings is not safe, okay, or we have to eat to, for me, I ate to punish myself for not being good enough. It was a form of control. Okay, or I ate, all of a sudden I had a belief in my nervous system that I had to struggle to thrive. That was the biggest one for me. Letting go of the identity of struggle almost emotionally killed me. Okay, but I came out on the other side. I did the work, and these 5 pathways were what got me there. But every time I progressed towards my goals, I'm going to say sabotage it, but it was my nervous system taking the lead, pulling me back, making me eat or not show up in my business. I would procrastinate, I would hide, because my brain, my nervous system thought if I made a lot of money, I would get bored. Life would be too easy, right? It was stored in my subconscious through stories that were created in my experiences of life was really hard for me. If I tell you all the things that happened to me and how life was harder for me, I don't know, you might tell me I'm full of shit, but you might say, holy shit, that's a lot. Either way, it was how it was stored in my nervous system. All the things that were just always harder for me. I developed a story that I'm born to struggle. And also, my whole life was sat on the foundation of struggle. I am a coach today because I understand struggle is how it got me to be a coach, right? So deep down, my belief system was like, who will I be if I don't struggle? I won't relate. My fire in me, my purpose, my drive, my hard workership will all go away if it gets easy. That belief derailed me. And I did the work to understand it, dismantle it, create safety in my nervous system that life can feel easy. Okay? That's what I did with my 5 pathways. But what happens is your body is triggered if you don't feel safe being vulnerable, feel safe being seen, feel safe making money, feel safe not working hard. Some people think you have to work hard. And so you will grind and you don't want to because your nervous system is like, we can't slow down. We have to work hard to create. And the nervous system wants a leader. And if you're not going to lead it, your brain in survival mode is going to lead it. Your nervous system is going to get dysregulated, triggered. Oh, she's slowing down. Oh, she's resting. She's sitting on the couch. Oh, she made a lot of money this month. Oh, she's showing up online. This isn't safe. The brain and the body are working together to keep you alive. And so your brain now offers procrastination, overwhelm, doubt, fear, confusion, shutdown, whatever it's going to do. The brain is going to be like, oh, I have to control him because this isn't safe. The brain and the body are working together. Okay, dysregulation happens in the nervous system, and then disconnection happens in the mind. The brain pulls you away from your truth. Disconnection from your home is what I say. Your home is your self-leadership, is who you know deep down you're meant to be. You are grinding to be this person, to have this thing, this result, this goal, right? Whatever it looks like. It could be a million different things. You are out there grinding and doing the work. You are a hard worker. You're disciplined. You're motivated. Those things are not the problem. It is the identity that you're living in. And the nervous system will run the show. It will hijack you. Next thing you know, you're on the couch eating, watching Netflix. And you didn't want to be. Because your nervous system didn't feel safe doing it any other way. Okay? It is taking old stories, and what's so difficult about this is the subconscious is running the show, and you're not quite sure what's running in the subconscious. If you have ideas about money, if you have ideas about, rich people are greedy, Or asking for the sale is greedy. People are going to judge me, right? If you have a fear of being judged, maybe you were judged as a kid, bullied. Maybe your parents made you feel like you were not good enough. Or someone in your life, you processed a certain situation that you're broken. You're the problem. That seems to be the running tape. All right. And that's why disconnection happens, because it's pulling you to find an answer outside of you. Okay. Because your brain and your body are like, we don't hold the answer, so we have to go find it. Okay. Or we have to go outside of ourselves for safety. Right? Safety in food. Safety in overwhelm is a form of protection because it keeps you stuck. It will keep you from doing anything. Overwhelm keeps you from doing anything because you're in panic mode. Okay, everything feels like a lot. That's how your brain keeps you stuck. So dysregulation happens in the nervous system based on a trigger from a story in your body that's stored from your past. It looks to a leader, and if you're not online to lead, right? You, the self-leader, like, oh, it's safe to go in this direction. This is who we are now. Okay, we show up online, we sell, we go to the networking event, we're dating, we're losing 15 pounds, we're making 300K. If you're not leading, it's going to look to a leader, and it's going to go factory setting to your survival brain. And your first survival brain is always going to look to the exterior for safety. It's always going to look to shutting down, right? Procrastination, the doubt to pull you away, the fear. Because your brain, I've said this before, your brain and your body don't care about your dreams. They love you so much that they are so brilliant, they're just trying to keep you safe. And your brain does not value internal safety. It values external safety. External safety. So it's not going to go inside for calm, regulation, and connection to yourself and your higher truth. It's going to look outside of you for the fastest fucking thing possible. And that might be skipping out on the networking event. That might be not posting online. That might be hiding. That might be screaming at your kids. That might be drinking and eating. It could be a million things. Spending, right? Facebook, right? We buy something to self-regulate is really what we're doing, to feel better immediately, because that your brain is like, oh, we need some type of regulation. We're dysregulated inside. We need some type of regulation. Oh, the food does it. Oh, the wine does it. Oh, the sitting on the couch watching Netflix does it. Oh, let's go buy something on Amazon. And next thing you know, we're sitting in shame because we think it's our fault. This is survival mode of the body. Dysregulation, and then your brain is going to pull you away with a thought to disconnect you from your truth. My pathways bring you back to center and acting from the identity you want to act from. I created them for me. It did not exist. A lot of the pieces of the pathways existed. The formula and pathways I put them in have never been worded that way or in pathways in that form and formula that way. And how I word it is, you are coming back to home to yourself. Your body is dysregulated. Your brain is looking outside of you, pulling you from your truth. Wait. Hello? Pulling you from your truth. Hello? Your brain is pulling you from your truth, disconnecting you from you. Because your brain doesn't care if you're connected to you. Your brain wants you to survive. It is our job to show our nervous system that it is safe to be the new identity we want to be. That is our job. And we don't realize it, we're solving for the wrong thing. Dysregulation feels like restriction, feels like panic, feels like overwhelm, feels like heavy doubt, heavy fear, numbing. That's what anger, rage, all of those heavy feelings are a dysregulation. That's how you know you're dysregulated. Or what's the behavior? What are you doing that you wish you weren't doing? Or what are you not doing that you wish you were doing? That's how you know you're dysregulated and in disconnection. I call it abandoning yourself. This is what one of my coaches once said to me. We abandon ourselves. The reason why we abandoning ourselves creates so much shame. Because we're like, how do we not have control over our own actions? Well, because we're not running the show. The nervous system is. If we are not connected to ourselves, right? I am connected to myself. So when my brain pulls me, when my nervous system is triggered by a hard conversation, by a pushback from a client, by something with money could trigger me, a bill comes in, okay? My car's check engine light comes on. That could trigger me. It could trigger a story that comes from my nervous system. It is my job, because I have some belief deep down that I can't trust how I spend money, that money's going to run out, right? My nervous system has created this belief that money is going to run out. And I've had to go inside and give my nervous system, that girl and me, a new leader, not the survival brain, me. And I tell her, we're safe here. We are safe here, right? So you get triggered, okay? And then we abandon ourselves. Like, how many times have you abandoned yourself with a bad habit? Smoking, drinking, or just not showing up the way you want, talking yourself out of going to the gym. Right? I did this so many times. These frameworks were built on my failure. How many times I abandoned myself and ate. But when I realized it was what was going on internally, it was patterns that developed to survive, I looked at it as information. I stopped looking at it as I am broken. Because when you think you're broken, you're not going to analyze it. You're just going to decide you're the problem. And I realized 4 years ago, I'm not the problem. It is the behavior. And I started to analyze the fuck out of every time I ate against my will, did anything against my will, procrastinated, talked myself out of going to the gym, talked myself out of setting a boundary with my husband, didn't show up in my business to make money. I analyzed every time I showed up in a way that wasn't aligned with who I wanted to be. And these pathways are what were revealed to me. But the first step is learning you're disconnected. You're in dysregulation in your nervous system. And the nervous system's looking for a leader. And as soon as you step forward and say, oh, no, I lead now. I love you all. I love you brain. I love you body. I love you nervous system and all the beliefs that you cultivated. And you're coming with me now. That is the work. And if you're not aware, you will get hijacked every single time and call yourself the problem. Not motivated enough, not disciplined enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not courageous enough. And that's not it. You are courageous as fuck. You are strong. You are super smart. You're hardworking. All of it. If you're disagreeing with me, if your brain is like, no, she's wrong. I'm not a hard enough worker. That's disconnection. Your brain is pulling you from your truth. You are a hard worker. I know you are. I know you are. If you're listening to the podcast, you're a hard worker. You're a high achiever, man. You are. Your brain is trying to fool you into keeping you stuck. Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is your brain trying to pull you from leveling up. And I know it feels true, man. It all feels true. You know how many times I ate because it felt necessary to punish myself for not being good enough? Thousands of times. Thousands of times. And it actually was never true. It was a survival mechanism based on my childhood. Based on what happened when I was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stored in my nervous system beliefs. And all of this can be changed. When you are aware, when you slow it down, you can see the thoughts, you can understand the patterns, you start asking yourself questions. It is your nervous system and your brain protecting you. These are protective measures to keep you where you are. But you're trying to level up, and your body and brain aren't on board. You can change what your brain understands as important, and you can create safety inside your nervous system for where you are going. So I want to give you, I created this workbook for my retreat, and this is for my coaching clients now that go through these pathways with me, the return of you method. Sometimes we don't know what we're thinking. So this is what I want to offer you that's out of my workbook. Okay? Because if you're showing up in a way that doesn't align with who you want to be, maybe you're doing things you don't want to do or not doing things you wish you were doing. Okay? And you don't know what you're thinking. Notice the feeling first. Notice the behavior or the urge. Your actions will reveal the pattern. If this sensation had words, what would it say? Ask the protection directly. What are you trying to keep me safe from? Right? Because you are safe to show up online. You are safe to make more money. You're safe to drop the 15 pounds, right? It's all safe. You have to not believe it, right? If you believe deep down it is unsafe or that nobody cares of what you have to say online or nobody's going to buy from you, you're believing your survival brain thoughts. You're believing the disconnection. Because here's the deal. If you have something inside of you, a purpose, something that you feel passionate about selling, that is coming from your inner truth. Your brain is trying to disconnect you from moving forward in that path because it doesn't believe it's safe. If you have some internal truth happening deep down of a purpose, of a desire, they are your truth. It's all safe to move forward. All of it. Your inner truth is buried under dysregulated nervous system. And I'm just, a nervous system that is running on old beliefs, running on an old identity that got you this far but can't get you where you want to go. That's what it's doing. It's running on that. So look at the thoughts around the behavior that you want to have, or the behavior that is sabotaging you or making you not show up the way you want to. The thoughts are going to give you the key and how it's feeling, how your body is feeling around those behaviors, right? If you really want to start the business or write the book and you are afraid no one's going to buy it, that is a disconnected thought from the door. Your brain is offering you that thought. What if no one buys it? And you are listening. You are saying that is, a significant fear and that is your truth. But if you continue to believe that, you're never going to write the book. And what will you do if you never write your book or never do the thing that you desire? How will you live with yourself at the end? Knowing you didn't go for it. Because it's just your brain trying to keep you safe. So I also say that what you can do is, it's called an awareness release. Set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes. If you really want to write your book or post online or whatever the thing is, lose the 15 pounds and you're struggling, set a timer for 10 minutes and write about it. Write about it. There's no right or wrong way. There's no rules. There's no judging. There's no censoring. Just get it all out. What would happen if I lost this weight? What would happen if one of my coaches said, take your brain to the worst case scenario, because your brain is trying to protect you. So take your brain to the worst case scenario, right? You create an event, no one comes. Take your brain there. What would happen? You are more powerful than any situation. You can overcome any failure, anything. You're more powerful than any failure, than any mistake online, than any a sale that goes wrong, than any no, than any judgment. You are more powerful, right? You have to show your nervous system and your brain who's leading. Who's leading now? So this is what I wanted to offer, is start to get curious on what's going inside your body. What are the triggers? There's patterns. There are patterns. You're going to get triggered and your brain is going to pull you away from where you're supposed to be going, or where you think you should be going, or a deep desire of where you want to go. Any deep desire is coming from the true you. And this is why I say the method is called the Return of You method, because we dissect what the disconnecting thoughts are that are pulling you away from your truth. We're going to create safety in your nervous system. Then we're going to decide what you actually want to believe. Step into the identity of believing that and how that person lives while the nervous system feels safe. And then we're going to take action from that place. But this is a loop, because we have a human brain that's constantly trying to derail us. But the great thing about it is the brain wants to serve us and the nervous system wants a leader. Okay, so the more we show our nervous system that I am the leader and it is safe to go in that direction, the direction you actually want to go in your life, the brain says, I want to serve her, but left unled, it will go back to factory settings of survival mode. But as soon as it realizes you are taking the reins, it's going to show you what you want to see and believe. And it is malleable. So the derailment will happen less and less, and you will become so aware that you will actually set up systems when you're going to do something that you know your brain will try to pull you away from. Because this is what I've done. I've built systems in my life based on my patterns. And I'm always learning. I was derailed this weekend. It cannot be a problem because we have a human brain and we're doing hard things. I'm never going to stop challenging myself, ever, never, never. I am wired for growth, wired for it. I'm always going to challenge my nervous system, and I'm always going to, means I'm always going to challenge the old patterns. But they are so much less now. I'm not the same person. I'm not the person that is wired for struggle anymore. I've stepped out of that identity. I've stepped out of it. And it was super powerful. And these are the pathways that took me to that next identity. I'm teaching literally what worked for me, what helped me, and has never been taught this way and didn't exist. And the door is, you are not broken, you're not the problem. It is what's going on inside of you based on how the body and brain are wired. Disconnection. The return of you reconnects you back to you. You are your home. And when you are your home and you return to you, you are running on a solid foundation of self-leadership. Self-leadership. Every human being is wired that way too. Self-leadership is deep down inside of you with your intuition. When we unbury all the shit on top of it, right? The beliefs and the stories and the protective behaviors, you are revealed. You are revealed. and the noise in your mind quiets down. It's super quiet because there's no screaming in our head to survive. We are the leader, and we are coming from a calm place because our nervous system knows, oh, she's leading us now. I'm going to go with her. And that is the power of awareness, being regulated, and following through with this work. You can be and do anything you want. And it is so fun. It is so fun. I just had to teach my daughter how to self-regulate because she's dealing with something at school with another kid. And she was totally dysregulated in her body, and I had to pick her up from school. And I was not okay with picking her up from school. So I told her, this is the last time I'm picking you up, and I'm going to teach you these tools. And I showed her how to regulate her emotions inside her body when she is triggered. And she valued it for the first time ever because she understood fully what it was like to be dysregulated at school. She was shaking so bad she couldn't control herself. And I tried to calm her down through audio texts, and it wasn't enough, so I picked her up. But I said to her, I'm never picking you up again. This is what I'm teaching you. And she knows that I teach my clients this. And I've given her sentences to say to calm herself down that are true for her. Life-changing work for a 14-year-old to know how to regulate. Who teaches this? Nobody. Right? We don't learn this. We don't learn this by our parents. We don't learn this in school. We learn this after having to stumble into therapy, right? And we're in emotional pain, things like that, right? I'm teaching my daughter this from the door, how to self-regulate, how to go inside her body, understand why she's feeling what she's feeling, and be able to come back home to her. That's what I taught her. Come back home to her. You are not the problem. You are the solution. And nothing in us is broken. Nothing. Even the patterns, even the stories, even the archive of our nervous system and all the triggers. None of us are broken. Nothing in us is broken. It is understanding the mind and body and using it to our advantage. Once we learn it, we can use it as our ally to get where we want to go. So that is really the first pathway in my return of you method. But if you are derailing, and if you relate to this, well, I can help you, right? I can help you. Go to AllisonGallagher.com. Let's have a consult. But start to journal. What's going on? What are the patterns? What are you thinking? What is so scary? What is your mind and nervous system trying to protect you from? Why is it trying to protect you? Maybe there's something happened when you were a kid. It's okay not to know, and maybe you know exactly. Then set up a system so that when your brain and body try to derail you, go inside and create safety. Talk to your body. Talk to your nervous system. I talk to my nervous system. I talk to my cerebral brain. I'm like, you're good here. I'm leading the show. You're coming with me. We're all together here. I call us us. We're us. We're all inclusive in here. All the parts of me. They're coming with me. I'm leading. And I tell them, you're good. You are safe. I'm here. We're moving in that direction. You're going to love it. That's what I say. I talk to my nervous system like I talk to my kid. And I don't make it a problem. I come from love and compassion. So that is all I have to say for today. Dysregulation in the nervous system. And you'll know when you're regulated, you're calm, you're clear, you can talk clearly, you can speak your truth and you don't feel threatened. Your higher level thinking is online. You're able to do, you're living an aligned life. What you say and feel and do are all aligned. That's regulation. That's home, coming home to yourself. And it's perfectly normal to be dysregulated. I got dysregulated this weekend, right? We go back to the pathways. It's a loop. The return of you is constantly happening because we are not linear. None of this is linear. Not one line is here and then we home. No, it's a loop because we are living a human experience, and we're always going to get pulled away from ourselves. But the more we look at it as information, the faster we can return. That's it. It's not never to leave or to disconnect from ourselves again. No, I would never tell anyone that we're going to do that. But the more you loop around back to yourself, the faster you get back to you, the faster you get back to you. It's the faster the loop will go. And next thing you know, months will go by and you haven't been derailed at all. At all. Because you're so quick on the return. That's my hope for you. So that is the first pathway, which is reflecting what was protection, because you are behaving in a way that is just reflecting what your nervous system and your brain are trying to protect you in a world outside of you. They're just trying to protect you and you're just doing the thing. You're just like their robot because you're not aware, right? You're just reflecting what they're trying to protect. They're trying to create protection for you and you're reflecting that. By doing it, it is not you. It is not you. You're not the problem. You're not broken. You're just a reflector showing up in a result guided by a protective brain and nervous system. That is the first pathway. And that is all what I wanted to offer for you. I'm sending you so much love. You can be and do anything you want in this world. And it's actually a really fun journey once you know what is actually happening and you see it purposefully, right? Like I look at the pathways, I know where I am, I know where I got derailed, and I know what I have to do next. So I'll name the pathways just to finish this episode. But the first one is reflecting what was protection, which was today's episode. The next one is anchoring in yourself, which is nervous system work. The third is reclaiming your belief, right? So then you decide what you want to believe, not just what your survival brain is sharing. Then you lead from that truth, and that's how you return to yourself because you're living an aligned life. And then the loop starts over again, reflecting what was protection every time it comes up, even the smallest things. Any small trigger, you're starting at that first pathway. That is a macro and a micro, right? That pathway, the 5 pathway loop, could be with a sentence in your head that's trying to derail you, or that same loop you can change your life with. Those 5 pathways. It's micro and it's macro. And it helps anyone with anything, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what you've been through, it meets you where you are. Because it's all about dysregulation and disconnection. And that's all I have to say about that. I wish you guys so much love. I will, if this helps you, I would love if you, reviewed it, shared it with someone who you know is struggling with they're stuck or an overwhelm. Overwhelm is the same thing. It's a dysregulated nervous system. And that's it. I'll see you next week. Love you guys. Bye.